I think we are live on YouTube. And if we're live on Facebook, I'm going to see if I can. Oh, there we are. So I can join it and read the comments. So let's see. How do I do that? Click it. Mute it. All right. I think we're live. Awesome. There's such a height difference. Okay. Anyways, hi. How's it going? I'm Jesse, and this is Yuli. We're going to be doing our update roundups for November 2020. As you know, Yuli is our CTO here with REI Conversion, specifically on the website side of things. And we're also going to, halfway through this, Kevin is going to join us, and then Yuli's going to leave us, and we're going to be updating you on Pebble. So we're going to do everything sort of as a one shot. And I know happy Thanksgiving to all you guys out there. And this is pretty late for some of you guys. So I appreciate you guys kind of logging in. You guys probably full on turkey today. If you guys can just, I want to double check. Am I getting the comments? If somebody can just comment and say hi. So I know the comments are coming through and we can read it while I sort of pull this up here. I'm going to pull up the slides and we're just going to blast through this. All right, well, I don't see any comments come through yet. Hopefully this is, this is actually chattable on Facebook. All right. Oh, there we go. Yuli, you commented. Awesome. So we are live. Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to switch the right window here. So thanks again for joining us, both Yuli and I, for the November 2020 update roundup. We're going to talk about the new things that we've done and what's coming up ahead. First of all, we always want to start off by just saying thank you. First of all, thank you to all you guys that are joining live. And thank you for you guys, all the feedback that we get and all the support that we get. It really means a lot to us. And myself and my team try to remain as close as possible to you guys. And we do sort of read everything that comes through. All right, so when it comes to recent updates, first of all, we recently launched a new skin called the Clarity Skin. Now, if you're already using REI Landlist, you're probably on a classic skin. I'll just quickly show you what that looks like. You can always preview this on our marketing site as well. If you go to landlist1.reiconversion.com, we've got a brand new skin out there for those of you guys that are considering jumping on to using REI conversion websites. We've got a brand new skin. This also opened up some features inside of our current skin, which is our classic skin. So that has been a huge project, and we finally got that out. And we're planning to continue to work on more skins coming up in hopefully next year. One of the things that we got a lot of requests on, this is probably pretty much since the beginning, is the coming soon tag. So what that is if you look at the properties here, you are now given this coming soon tag. This will also show up on the property catalog, and this will actually disable and dim out the reserve now button. Same goes with under contract and sold properties. It will automatically dim out these buttons so that people cannot purchase. So that is out right now. Yuli, that's right? It will dim out on the sold and
sold and coming soon.
Coming soon and under contract.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, these tags show up here inside of this design, and then it will actually show up on the property card itself on the classic side. Yes, sort of like this.
Yeah.
Right? Contract.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Sorry, did you want to say something or?
No, sorry, I was looking at a different screen.
Oh, okay, got you. Yuli, actually, I should have got you to share your screen. We're working on launching our opt-in page. This has been another huge request from a lot of people. Yuli, are you able to share your screen on that side with the design of how, even a sample of that? I'll just sort of explain this opt-in page. So the opt-in page, okay, let me just feature.
Can you see?
Yeah.
I just started share, right?
Yeah, there you go. So it's a one-page opt-in form. A lot of people want to find different ways to build their buyers list, right? So you can use this page to do all sorts of things. You can promote an ebook. I know a lot of you guys are putting together ebooks. If you want to talk about some of the deals that you have as a video, you can provide that as well. Or if you just want to talk about a guide or whatever it might be, this is a great opportunity to drive them to this opt-in page. And what's really cool about this opt-in page to increase conversion rates is that we got rid of the menu bar. So they cannot go anywhere else. I mean, at the footer they can, but essentially want to do as much as we can to minimize the amount of distractions. Yuli and the team are currently working to pack this up. Yuli, when did you say we should be seeing this roll out on the next update?
It should be before next month, before 11th, December 11th.
December 11th, yeah. So we should have it early mid next month. We talked about this last time. We are getting really close to sort of launching this. And these will be like fully editable. So if you want to change the images, add a video, and you're going to be given what is it, like 4 layouts there, right, Yuli?
Yes, 4 layout for both skin, classic and clarity.
Yeah, so both in the classic skin and the clarity skin, you'll get access to this. And then I know you guys want to do, you guys want to do your Facebook pixels. So this is a great page to pixel. If they come across this page, then you can sort of remarket those people your properties or whatever ads that you guys or strategies that you guys have in place. Awesome. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I'm trying to figure this out. Here we go. All right. Next thing is easy Followup boss integration guide. This is really cool. Actually, I have to give credit to one of our users, and shoot, I forgot who it was. But essentially now you're able to go from your property content lock form directly into Followup Boss without the need of Zapier, and it's super easy. There is a full walkthrough in this inside of our knowledge base. If you go to kb.reiconversion.com, I want to say it was Nathan who put me on this. Oh man, I feel bad if I got that wrong. But anyways, if you just type in follow up, here we go, integration with Followup Boss. We've got a full step-by-step on how to do this. It's a lot easier than it looks like. Honestly, most of this just text. One thing I do want to let you know, you do need to copy and paste this into Ninja Forms. But when you copy and paste it, make sure you don't copy and paste the formatting. So you can zoom into this little coding button. Make sure you're not bringing any HTML formatting in. If you have any issues, let me know. Shoot us a message, but it's super easy. I know a lot of people have implemented this already, so that is available for you guys. I know you guys love Followup Boss. It's one of those follow-up systems that you guys have set up for automation in terms of emails and text. So, and then we recently launched our success training guide. So for those of you guys who recently got your site launched or just want to make sure that you're fully utilizing our site, feel free to head over to reiconversion.com/success. You can enroll in this course for completely free. We've updated all our videos. It's pretty much myself and then Kevin as well on the Pebble side of things, sort of walking through on the best practices on setting things up. So that will be all available. Again, that's reiconversion.com/success, and you'll find that inside of there. Okay, and then we've done a bunch of bug fixes. Yuli, any offhand that you remember in terms of bug fixes? I think there's just too many to remember, actually.
Yeah. Well,
I'm putting her on the spot. I know we've been pushing a lot of bug fixes.
Yes.
And if you ever, I was just gonna say, Yuli, you usually keep a track of this on the change log, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you can head to the change log. What is that?
reiconversion.com/changelog.
And you can sort of see some of the updates that we've been pushing out here. And sort of stay updated with what we've been doing. So You'll see some of the bug fixes in here at least.
Yes.
Okie dokie. That really sort of wraps up what we've launched. And then, oh boy, in terms of what's coming up. So we are actually transitioning to a fully hosted solution now. So you no longer need your own hosting. For those of you that are using your own hosting in the new year, feel free to message us. For those, especially you guys that are on WP Engine, we will be offering a WP Engine hosting, but it's all sort of managed through us. And we can transition you into that plan. There are some benefits sort of moving that route, including there are benefits of moving that way, but I won't sort of talk too much about it until next month, but that is coming up. We are also working on a major rebrand. So this doesn't really affect a lot of you guys, but it does sort of affect you guys in the sense of, managing your accounts and whatnot. We are sort of redesigning the whole website, and then we're doing a major rebrand. So that's sort of happening behind the scenes as well. And then also another huge thing, sometime next year, we're going to be working on a more tighter integration with REI Pebble. So when it comes to listing your properties, that is something that we're actively talking about. And this sort of is a great segue into talking about REI Pebble. But that is what we are working on. Obviously, the opt-in pages, Yuli, you just mentioned sometime around December 11th, right?
Yes, that's right.
Awesome. So we will be doing that as well. Okay, guys, let's open this up for Q&A before on the website side of things before we jump into Pebble. So I know there's sort of like a 30-second delay here. If you are, I'm going to double check. If you are on YouTube, should be able to also comment there. Okay. Yep. Can you recommend a VA familiar with the website, looking for someone who can take my vision and present it on the site? Yeah, so it really depends on what you're looking for when you're saying that, Dan. Because if you're looking to change the entire look of it, you would probably need to hire a developer to do that. Yuli, what kind of developer would somebody, like, let's say somebody wanted to, I don't know, completely rehaul, like, say, the layout of the property card. What should they? What kind of dev should they be hiring?
Actually, you can hire a front-end developer to work on your CSS styling, the front-end look of your site. And what I mean by CSS, what you can do is changing not only the colors, maybe some of the layouts, changing the typography, but that's something we plan to do, adding the typography customizer in the future, but it's still on the roadmap. Yeah.
I would say it really comes down to, what are your end goals? How much you want to change things. And just to warn you, Dan, like, it's a rabbit hole that it could take you quite far and then end up, I know a lot of people that kind of go down that rabbit hole and, never are able to recover from that. So it really depends. Now, if you're looking for someone who just to rearrange or list your properties or rearrange your property listing, then a regular VA should be able to just jump into our knowledge base and learn how to do that. And then Land VA for You is another company that we are going to be working more closely with. And I believe they have some VAs who are familiar with REI conversion products, but you want to make sure that you understand, the difference between an assistant versus a developer. Now, you just mentioned Fiverr. I would not probably recommend Fiverr. You'll probably want to look somewhere, I don't know, like Upwork is probably a starting place for a developer. I don't know. Yuli, do you have any suggestions for finding a developer? Front end, I mean, I guess.
I am not sure. Like, I don't want to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Upwork is a place you can start at, Dan. I think that would be a good starting point. Just again, be careful of which avenue you go down at. This is the whole reason for our themes, is to kind of keep everything simple on the design end, and then you guys can move forward with your business. But yeah, good question. Any other questions? Okie dokie. Well, I'm just gonna roll Kevin into here soon. All right. Well, maybe you guys are just full from turkey.
Yeah.
I know it's getting late for some of you guys that want to spend time with family. All right. Hey, Kevin, how's it going?
Hey, everyone. Good.
Yay.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Yuli, thanks again for joining us. I will handle any other questions if it comes through. And we will catch you next time on our next update roundup.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye, Yuli.
Bye,
Bye.
Yuli.
Awesome. Okay, let's jump into this, Kevin.
Yeah.
And for those of you who have not met Kevin yet, how do I? Oh, there we go. For those of you that have not met Kevin yet, what do I spotlight? He is one of the co-founders here at REI Conversion with the Pebble side of things. So let's just spotlight this. All right. I'm going to pull this open here. All right. So let's just jump right into it. November 2020 update roundup for Pebble. We're going to talk about a couple things here.
I can share if that would be helpful.
Sorry?
I can share my screen if that would be
Yeah,
helpful.
let's do that.
Okay. Can you make me the presenter?
Oh, you're not a presenter?
I got it now. Yep.
Okay.
Sure. Share my screen. There we go. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes. Let me spotlight that. Cool. Yeah, let's just jump right into it. Okay, well, we'll go into the neighbor letter stuff first.
Sure. Yeah, and feel free to hop in if there's anything I'm missing here, Jesse. But
yeah.
So we since Pebble launched, we've had the ability to send individual mailings of a particular document. So if you are in your property, this is, let's say I'm in a property here. Yeah, so this is my property. And if I wanted to generate a document, whether that's a contract or a neighbor letter, I can go ahead and do that here. Sorry, my internet's a little slow. Yeah, so I can go in and generate documents, and then I can mail those documents somewhere. So like mailing a contract. In this case, I've got a neighbor letter here, so we'll view that document. And here it is here. So here's my neighbor letter. It's got some pictures of the property that I want to send to my neighbors. And so what I can go do here is click send mailing. Now, previously, you could only mail to one address at a time. So it was, if you downloaded a list of, say, 10 neighbor addresses, you would have to go in and click add mailing, type in the new address, click send, click add mailing, type in the new address, click send, and do that 10 times. So we've updated this page to make it a lot simpler. So you can set the type of mailing you want to do, whether that's color. I'll talk about the new double-sided option soon, but you'd set that here. Set your return address. This is what's printed on the top left corner of the envelope. And then here you can add as many addresses as you want. So you can either click this add address button and just have you or a VA just type out a bunch of addresses here. And then another really cool thing we have, especially if you're getting this data from a list source, is you can click this upload CSV file. And then I'll just grab a list of addresses. I've got just a basic CSV file of 5 addresses or 3 addresses. So I'll select that file and boom, we've got the 3 addresses. I can then click send and it will send those addresses, and it'll tell us which ones might have failed. So because we do address verification on every address that we send to prevent any return mail, these number 1 and number 3 were just bogus addresses that don't exist. So our mailing has said that you were not able to deliver these 2, but this one was a valid address and it went successfully. Now, if you don't care about fixing those, you can just click finish and it'll show you the mailings that were done, or you can click retry and it'll put those addresses back that did not go out. You can fix them or skip trace them, click send again, and then hopefully that'll send those two out. Once you've sent the addresses, or once you've sent the mailings, you will see those show up here back on the document screen. And when they're expected to be delivered, you can also click here to view additional tracking data and the specific letter that went out to that person. So,
yes. So yeah, this is awesome. This is sort of the bulk I call it the bulk neighbor letter tool now, which is really cool. I get a question. I got a couple times people asking me, when does the mail go out for these neighbor letters? When you hit send mailing, does it go immediately, or does it go and get batched for the next day?
It will go immediately. Yep. So as soon as you click send mailing, that's going off. Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. And just for those of you guys who don't know, when you're sending your campaigns, we get this question a lot. It's like, what time or when does it go? It goes out the next day. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, it's 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. And I feel like it's changed.
So it goes out at 2 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. so 2 a.m. UTC basically is when it goes out. That ends up being, depending on daylight savings time, it's either 11 or 10 p.m. Eastern.
I think it's 11 p.m.
Now it's 11.
Yeah. So just for you guys that are wondering.
Yeah, that does change.
So again, this has been a huge request, which we're super excited to have now. The sort of bulk neighbor mailing system there. So thanks for showing that. I'm just going to back it up one step. I talked about this earlier. Again, we have the REI Conversion Success Training Guide. I'm going to plug it in one more time. It's a completely free course. If you just go to reiconversion.com/success, you'll be able to enroll. You'll be able to see sort of all the best practices in setting up your entire platform with Landleads, Landlist, and then Pebble. We talk about things like integration and connection and sort of, again, the best practices. And these are videos that we will continue to update as well. So feel free to enroll in this and go through this as well. And if you have a VA, this is a great resource for your VA to kind of digest. Okay, let's talk about the double-sided and single-sided letters.
Yes.
We've gotten a little bit of confusion about this in the past few days because we recently just pushed that out. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, and then let's talk about you're going to probably talk about it, but the pricing side of that.
Yep. So previously, basically every letter that went out was a double-sided letter. So if you had a 2-page offer letter, that would get printed 1 page on the front and 1 page on the back of a sheet of paper, and that would go out and it would be delivered as one piece of paper, front and back. What we have now is the ability to change that if you do want to send separate sheets of paper. So if you spotlight my screen here, when you go to your campaigns, this works either if you're doing a campaign to multiple properties, or you're sending an individual document like a neighbor letter. This option is there for both. So when you add a campaign, you give it a name. All these options were here before, but now you have this new double-sided option. By default, it's going to be just check to yes. You can set it to no. So if you want to print every sheet is a new piece of paper, so nothing's printed on the back. You select no there, and then click create campaign. Basically, what that will now mean, if you upload a 2-page letter, it will print 2 physical pages. Now, the deal with pricing, there is no pricing difference between selecting double-sided or single-sided. It's pricing is based essentially on the inked page.
Yes.
So if you if you want to do double-sided or single-sided, there's no pricing difference. If you had a 2-page letter, it would be the same price. It's basically charges for the mailing plus an additional page. I think it's 9 cents a page or 8 cents a page,
something like that.
So, regardless of whether you do double-sided or not.
Awesome. And Kevin, Kevin Perney, we see your question there. We'll get to that in a second in the Q&A. Okay. All right. New image uploaders. So we've had some sort of buggy issues with the image uploader. We pushed out a new update for that. I'm going to go ahead and spotlight your screen again. And now we've got a new image uploader. It allows for drag and drop for your convenience. Yep. Any other things that you want to sort of mention about the image uploader?
Yeah, so a couple things. The drag and drop. I think I've got some images in here.
It's always good times when you have drag and drop.
Yeah, so you can grab a bunch of images, you can drop them right here, and then those will get uploaded individually. Takes just a second, and then you'll have all those images there. You can also just click this it'll bring up the typical box where you can select them there.
Yep.
And then you can, of course, rearrange these how you see fit. You can also now download the images. So if you uploaded images throughout your due diligence process and getting photos, you can quickly click download images, and that will just dump a single zip file that includes all the images, and all those images will be resized to the same dimensions. So that can be nice if you're trying to upload those to a website and you want everything to be kind of the same size.
I mean, it's also great if you gave your photographer access to this, and then you want it saved locally on your machine for whatever other reason. You can essentially use this as a cloud repository for your photos for that property, and then you can grab it off of there, and they can mark it as done if they've uploaded those photos for you. But yeah, essentially photographers come in here and also upload those photos as well.
Yep, exactly.
These images are also going to be used for other things in the future, but obviously for marketing, and then also in the neighbor letters too, right?
Yes, you can. When you create a neighbor letter, it will give you the option to select which images you want to include on that neighbor letter. Typically, what I'll do is I'll include one photo and one
map or aerial
aerial photo, just so people know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I sold 2 properties last week with neighbor letters, which I was very happy about.
Neighbor letters are the way to go.
Yeah, it's great because you don't have to do any marketing. I didn't even take photos. I just here's a Google Map image. You want to buy it? Sure.
It's awesome with data tree now that you can export a list of neighbors and then just pump them out. When I first started doing neighbor letters, it wasn't as easy as that. We had to look up the GIS information and get their addresses that way. But now that it's all here's a list, CSV, and then you just pump it into Pebble and you just blasted it all out, which is awesome.
It is great. Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. Okay. And then, I know we always write this one, but lots and lots of bug fixes, and believe us, yes, both on the website side of things and Pebble. I mean, a lot of time gets spent into the bug fixes. So that's been worked on as well. All right, so what's coming up? We've got a lot of things coming up. First of all, we are going to be doing a rehaul on the UI of Pebble, REI Pebble, due to a couple things. We're going through a major rebrand. And then also we are going to be introducing some major features. And I've mentioned here, including multi-users, including mentions and comments and activity. This really affects the entire UI. And then we've got other stuff planned later in the year that will sort of utilize this sort of new design. So that has been a huge undertaking for the entire team, and I'm really excited. I'm sure everybody on the team is really excited as well, as we're sort of putting the pieces together and getting everything together. So fingers crossed, it's all going to go live. I mean, it might even go live a little bit earlier, but we're hoping to set a timeline to have that out in the new year. Yeah, we're already testing some of that already. So on our staging side,
yeah, we're getting pretty close. And
yeah.
I just want to reassure people who are using Pebble daily, this is not going to like totally change everything about the app. It is mostly just a refresh of the look and feel. So colors will kind of all be unified across all of the REI Conversion brand. We'll be adding a few cool features that I think you'll be really excited about. Some things about conversations and commenting on properties. But all in all, the overall workflow will stay the same. We're going to be adding some new features going forward, but we don't want to just dump something totally new and confuse everybody. So that will not happen.
It'll still be very familiar. We've talked about this many times, multi-users. That is coming. And then with that, which I think is really cool, is if you have a VA, your VA would be able to not only help you, but say another colleague or another land investor that you know, maybe you and another land investor that are using Pebble want to share a VA because you can't give them enough hours, which is quite typical. You can group up with a couple other VAs that are land investors that are using Pebble, and that VA can get assigned to all three of your accounts. So it's easy for that VA to kind of go in between each account, and that way it makes their workflow a lot easier. But essentially, they will be able to do that as well. So it'll be very convenient for VAs, and we'll also be sort of talking more about VAs getting involved as well. Just a really brief mention. We already talked about comments and mentions, and that is coming down again, probably in the new year.
It will come with the new design.
Yes, right.
The new design ships. Yeah.
And other than that, next week we do have our Land Pebblers Mastermind. We haven't locked down on a guest yet. We're actually going to have Jaren over from RE Tipster, who's also a Pebble user, but we're going to actually push that out into January. So the slot is actually open. Kevin and I will sort of dive into some specific area within Pebble. So actually, if there's something that you guys would like us to talk about and sort of explain or show or demo a little bit further inside of Pebble, go ahead and let us know in the comments right now. And I'll be sending out calendar invitations too. So if you want, I'll be posting this inside of the Facebook group. Leave your email there. I'll send you a calendar invite so you get that on your calendar.
Looks like we've also got a couple questions that we.
Yes, let's jump into Q&A time. I lost my screen here. Kevin, you want to read it out? I'm totally lost.
Yes. Okay. We've got one. What are the advantages of using your mail service over using others?
Yeah, I can start with that. So we have an enterprise account with Lob. Some of you guys may be familiar with Lob, but you don't need an account or anything like that. I mean, the great thing is really it comes with time. You save a lot more time. You'll be able to just hit the activate button and then go. I mean, like literally once you have your mailer set up, you've sort of set it up in your first campaign. Every campaign after that, I don't know, like it just takes you a couple minutes to get a campaign up and running to send out your mailers and offers and letters. So it's just a huge time saver. Another thing is you can drip out your mailers on a daily basis. So when we're talking about scaling or building processes in your business, you want as much predictability as possible so you can build processes, right? So if you're sending out 1,000 mailers and then a couple weeks down the road you get slammed with leads, and that really janks up your entire process. You get crazy into figuring out leads, and you got to do all your due diligence, and then before you
run out of money,
run out of money, and then you forget you have to get another mailer out. I talked to Mike Ferreira about this in one of our podcasts, and he's a very experienced land investor out in Florida, and he talks about this is a true even as experienced as him, it's a newbie mistake that he's still making. So this really allows you to build predictability and allows you to scale, allows you to build out your processes so that when you're dripping out, say 20 or 30 a day, that means you're getting consistent drip of leads coming through and you're not slammed all of a sudden. On the technical end, Kevin, would you have anything to say about using our mailing system?
Yeah, another thing to mention is the fact that our offer codes are sort of tied in to the way Pebble works. So most people, I think, using Pebble will use our offer codes. So every time you generate a letter that goes out, Pebble will assign a specific offer code, and typically you'll print that like at the top of your letter. And then usually, like what I do is I tell people to go to my website and type in that offer code. And so as soon as they type in that offer code to my website with their name, I'll get a lead in Pebble that's automatically tied to that property record already in there. So I know exactly what property they're talking about. I know what the offer was. I know that I can give them a call immediately and know everything there is to know about that property. And same if they just call me. If they call me and say, hey, I got this property and whatever, I'll just say, hey, do you have the letter? What's the offer code on the top of that? I can quickly type it into Pebble and pull it up. A few other things that are maybe we don't leverage a lot right now, but we will be. We have a lot of plans to do this. We're actually tracking every time a letter gets delivered in Pebble. So every time you send out a letter from within Pebble, as soon as the post office says that's been delivered, Pebble actually knows that that's happened. And we're going to be able to do some cool stuff in the future, saying like, you had 30 letters delivered yesterday, and we can even tie those to leads. So as you add leads, we can say, okay, you're getting a 2% response rate or a 1% response rate, and I don't know, 1 out of 1,000 close rate or whatever we decide that is. But we'll be able to really show you some cool charts over time, showing what your conversion rates are based on the mail that goes out and some stuff like that. So that's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, that'll help you make better decisions and maybe improve on your processes. So that'll be there. Dan asks, do you guys have a document template library? And in fact, Kevin, do you mind sharing your screen and we can just show them where the document template library is? And specifically looking to upload a land contract and note. I'm laughing at this. I think, Kevin, you know why I'm laughing at it. We have been meaning to get that up. We do have a templates library. So you can get access to all of those templates if you go to templates and then hit add template. And you'll find all our templates inside of here. This is something that we plan to grow. We do have a land contract that we're going to be adding soon. We just,
There's a few technical reasons why we have to add a couple other features first before we add that, but it will be coming. However, what I would recommend if you do want to put your land contract in your land contract or your note template into Pebble, just use this outbound sale and purchase contract. That's sort of just the generic one. So click that. That will bring up this. This is just a generic kind of land contract, and then you can add to this, either pasting what you have in or just typing it out. And then you can leverage our custom fields if you want to, say, pre-paste in some like monthly payment amounts or some details like that, you can do these insert placeholders. And all of these things down here are custom fields, which you can customize in your settings panel. So, and do we have a video about that on the Getting Started guide?
On customizing documents?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, check that out, and we kind of walk you through the whole process.
Dan, if you have a more specific question, and I know you've got a bit of a team going on. If anybody has a specific question, let us know. Use loom.com to record your screen if you have any issues. Both Kevin and I are more than happy to help you out, and we can come into your account and sort things out inside of there as well. So yeah, feel free to follow up with us on that one.
Yep.
Okay, do we have any other questions? I know this is, again, a Thanksgiving evening. It's later than typical. We've got a few of you guys just hanging here by the fingers, probably ready to pass out with all that turkey in your tummy. I'm a huge turkey fan. I am. I talk about turkey. I miss turkey.
Is turkey a big thing in Canada?
Oh yeah. We've got turkey dinners for our Thanksgiving happens in October, and then we do turkey, and then we've got turkey dinner. I usually have turkey Christmas time, and I'll have turkey Easter time. One thing I've always wanted to try that I know they sort of do down south is deep fried turkey.
I did deep fried turkey once. I can confirm it's fantastic.
Is it? Wow, yeah. It sounds amazing.
A neighbor of mine had this whole process, like 6 fryers, and the whole neighborhood would on Thanksgiving morning would walk over with their turkey, dump it in one of the fryers. They'd cook them for, I don't know, it takes a long time to cook.
Yeah, right. It does.
Then,
I watched YouTube videos on these things, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's also like the #1 way Americans burn their houses down.
Yeah. Anyways, enough about turkey talk here. There doesn't seem to be any more questions. You guys can always reach out to both Kevin and I at hello@pebblerei.com. Happy to answer any questions. Thanks again for joining us for this month's update roundup. We'll be around next week for the Pebble Mastermind as well. And wishing you guys all a very safe and happy Thanksgiving. Cheers, guys.
See ya.
Thanks.